Her many voices, her many voices, her many voices, her many voices.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Isla. Hello. We are so excited to be here for our very first official show as Gaia Gossip for Her Many Voices.
Yeah, I'm very excited, and I'm super excited about our guest. And also, I'm sad to say Alicia Fall would normally be here. I know that you're probably all very disappointed. She's not feeling well, so I'm going to attempt to speak a little bit about what we're up to, but you'll get the better download next month from her.
Yes, thank you.
Do you want to just dive in or?
Sure.
Okay. Well, we're gearing up. We have 2 people confirmed for our anniversary event in March. Theo Wilson, who I know you know. I don't know if you want to say anything about how awesome that is.
Yes, I do. Yes. No, Thea's amazing, right?
Mhm.
He's actually currently the advisor for African American Affairs for Robert RFK Jr.'s presidential run. Very, very exciting, and he deserves that for sure. And I'm so excited he's going to MC our event in March of next year.
Mm-hmm. It'll be in Denver at the Cleo Robinson dance home. And Tashia Sante will be performing her one-woman show, and we got to see an excerpt of it. I don't recall if you were there for the Indigenous Wisdom. I want to say 2 years ago, she performed a reading from it, and it was amazingly powerful. So I feel so excited that we'll be able to actually have that. I think it's about 30 minutes. It's a really powerful show. So.
I'm really looking forward to this event. It's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be great. And it's 15 years. Can you believe that Alicia has been doing this for 15 years?
I remember back then, yeah, absolutely.
And Alicia, I mean, don't feel too bad for her. She's sick. However, she and Jane have been busy with hemp building conferences in Amsterdam and Prague. So she's been, doing some things that aren't terrible. And
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you've ever heard her speak. When I first met her, she was traveling to, I want to say, Japan and other countries, talking about hemp and humanity and the ways in which hemp as a plant has the possibility of really creating a more sustainable way of being for us in terms of sequestering CO2 and harmful minerals in the soil, as well as being able to be used for so many different things like milk and food, as well as plant fiber for clothing.
Yeah, the potential is incredible. I know she's been working on this and very passionate about it for a long time, as has Jane, our coming guest, Jane Wynne, who will be here in a few moments.
And so that was also when I first heard about the Wynne Farm Ecological Reserve in Haiti. And I just have to say, I admire so much what they have been doing and at the Wynne Farm and their perseverance through natural disasters and political upheaval to continue to say, we care about our people, we care about our community, we care about the planet. It's a beautiful role modeling of what a family can do when they pull together and really are able to build that as a community.
Absolutely. Yes. I don't know if there's any more you want to say about Her Many Voices, or should we bring Jane in?
I think it'd be great. And great to see you all. I'm going to hop out as soon as we bring Jane in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Hello, Jane.
Hello, how are you?
From across the world, from Denver, Colorado are you in Prague?
No, I'm in Amsterdam with Alicia.
Yes, you're in Amsterdam. That's
I'm back
right.
in Amsterdam.
Great.
And it's a real pleasure for me to be here with you on Gaia Gossip.
Thank you. It's a real privilege for us to be here and to have you here. We really appreciate it. As Isla said, she gave a little hint to what you have been up to, and it's really an incredible story. Do you want to start by introducing yourself and how you met Alicia with Her Many Voices?
Sure. Thank you. As I said, I really want to thank you and for having me today, and especially thanks to Alicia. She's a Wonder Woman, and
Absolutely.
and I want to thank another special woman, Tamara Kantav, who introduced me to Alicia, and that was back in 2010 after the earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
And Tamara had been doing great work with schools and farmers. Then when she introduced me to Alicia, it was really, really wonderful because she came with another view for the construction of Haiti, for rebuilding Haiti. And that's how we were connected. She automatically, I felt her love for Mother Earth. And she didn't know Haiti. She didn't know anyone in Haiti. And all of a sudden, she she appears and she said, "We shall rebuild Haiti with hemp." And I said, "Wow, hemp! I knew hemp as a fiber, but I didn't know you could rebuild with hemp." And it's really a wonder plant. Hemp is a wonder plant because it's so versatile.
Mm-hmm.
All the things you can do with it for Mother Earth.
Yes. Yes, they make a replacement for concrete called hempcrete, right? It's an incredible building material. I know it
Right.
also grows very, very quickly, so you have a lot, a lot that you can harvest more quickly than other things.
Right.
Do
Exactly.
you,
Exactly.
well, since we're on the topic, would you like to share a little bit about what you were doing in Prague and a little bit more about that?
Well, very little. Um, we went at a conference in Prague and we met some very wonderful people. And there were investors, farmers who were, and also producers of different products from hemp, like oils. One person was very special to me. It was a Japanese woman. I cannot remember her name too well. She was making diapers for babies with hemp.
Hmm.
And she was also into biochar.
Mm-hmm.
Biochar, which if you use that char in the soil, it will regenerate the soil.
Mm-hmm.
It will cure the soil from all the diseases that it has. Well, it helps it. And it helps also in the composting. When you put it in compost, it multiplies the bacteria because
Mm-hmm.
it has the capability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one person um, that I was touched by,
Yes, yes.
and of course different others, farmers. It was
I
really
think her
interesting.
name was Ayuki,
I
Alicia.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. Uh-huh.
Yeah, great.
And there was a wonderful family we met also. They have a farm and they were doing teaching. They remind me in a way of our farm in Haiti. They are working with the farmers, with students, teaching them different friendly ways of working with the soil and the
Mhm.
fiber.
Mhm. Yes, that's actually a perfect lead in if you'd like to share more about Wind Farm. I don't want there to be confusion. We're not saying wind as in the wind blowing
No.
outside. We're actually saying your last name, Wind
Yes,
Farms,
yes.
as an ecological preserve. Please share a little bit more about what you're doing there, your mission and a little history and how it got started.
Okay. Well, it really started back in 1956 with my parents buying small plots of land.
Mhm.
They had in mind to have a pilot farm where they could teach friendly ways of farming because my dad had seen that there was erosion. We lived by a river called River Flood, and he saw it sometimes after heavy rains. It was reddish color. So he decided to investigate and go higher up in the summit to see where that cause where it was coming from. And of course, it was soil erosion because there was no conservation system.
Mhm.
And so together they decided to buy small plots of land to do that pilot farm. And he terraced it, a lot of it, according to the what the Indians did in Machu Picchu, so that they can save the soil and save the water. And I must say also that Wynne Farm is on the ridge of two watersheds.
Mhm.
One river takes its birth from there, and it's the River Froide, and there's the River Grise on the other side of the watershed. And but Wynne Farm is also inside a protected area, which is called the protected area of Susai. And there's a third river at the end of that protected area that takes its birth from there too, goes to Leogan. But those two rivers, plus all the hillsides of the mountainside of Kenscoff, they serve they serve water to around 4 million people in Port-au-Prince and the surrounding areas in Carrefour. So it's very important. The position of Wynne Farm is very strategic.
Yes.
And not
And
only for that, for the water, but also for the biodiversity. And it's if we don't protect the biodiversity within that ecosystem that exists up there, the community will not get the benefits from it. Because right now the community does get the benefit of having butterflies and birds. They have found an oasis.
oh
So many
yes.
birds, migrating birds come, and local birds have their nesting place there, and they pollinate the gardens, the land of the farmers that are adjacent to Wynne Farm. So that's a beautiful ecosystem
Yes.
service. And also, Wynne Farm is community based, so it's it really is there to serve the community, not only conservation, but to serve the community.
Yeah,
And
it's not just about the planet and the health of the planet, but it's really about the people as well.
it's about the people, and it's a combination of both the planet and the people. And what we do workshops on environmental awareness. We work with schools, we work with farmers, with institutions. We don't have the means to do them ourselves, so we work with different institutions. For example, we have worked with USAID, and
Mhm.
they have built a center it's a rural center for sustainable development. And so whenever they wanted to have a program, realized, they would come and do it at the farm.
Oh, that's
And
great. That's great.
so, yes, and we still use it for that, for different types of workshops. And other institutions, if they need to, they would come and use it. Schools, we work with universities, students. Sometimes the universities send students to do internship, and for about 2 weeks. So they learn about soil conservation, and especially soil conservation. This is our, how to say, our main goal is to
Yeah.
save the soil.
Yeah, and that ties back to your father originally realizing that the soil erosion is one of the big problems, right? And
Exactly.
I know you mentioned that they did the terracing. That was my first thought, because that's how I envision land that is very hilly and like that. But do they do that anymore?
Well, he started doing it, and he did it for many years. So most of the land was terraced, but he realized later on that it's a lot of work.
Mhm.
First of all, you have to really know what you're doing. And most of the farmers lack that knowledge
Mm.
to really do level lines. So it's very important, because if you don't do terraces on a level by using a level, you might cause more damage
Oh yeah.
to the
Yeah.
environment. If it's sloping a little bit on one side, then when it rains more, the water will overflow more and cause more damage on the lower side of the mountain.
Sure.
So you
Yeah.
have to be very precise. So he developed later on a grid system, he called it, which is very easy. You still have to understand it well, but when we have students come, we explain to them, and farmers too, and they seem to catch it. Um, it's a system where you you stop the water from running off the slope
Mhm.
after
Great.
about 3 meters, between 3 and 5 meters. If you,
Mhm.
for example, if you would put a ball to roll down a hill, after 3 meters, it will pick up speed. So his idea was, we need to stop water so it doesn't pick up speed. So he started
Hmm.
making small basins every 3 meters.
Oh wow.
So that's how it works, and it's a wonderful thing. And not we have not lost one handful of soil since we've been doing those.
Wow. That's really amazing. That is amazing.
What we also do, we do workshops on medicinal plants, some medicinal plants. Sometimes we have someone who knows more about certain medicinal plants. They would come and give the workshop on health, um, recycling, recycling of paper, also reusing of plastic, because there's a lot of trash all over the streets. And so we sort of encourage the youth by reusing the plastic bottles, and they
Mhm.
learn how to make jewelry with them. They make earrings,
Mhm.
necklaces with paper and with plastic. Um, we try to do a lot of recycling.
That's yes. That's important as well, for sure. Yeah, so you do programs on site and you also go out and teach and do workshops in other locations as well. Do you want
Yes,
to, could you share a little bit about the schools where you actually, I think, met Alicia?
yes. Okay. First, the first outing we did with Alicia was going to Antigua, another village, a place called Tushushu, where Her Many Voices works a lot with women and schools. So what we did, we went over there and we did different types of workshops with them. Also, we did it also by the sea. It's another it's another locality further on, and it was really wonderful because we did sort of an exchange. The and it's always wonderful to do that. And we do especially environmental awareness with the women.
That's great. You know, I know that probably our listeners are very savvy and aware of what's happening in Haiti to some extent. Could we transition into that a little bit about what's really happening there as far as the insecurity and that kind of thing? Kind of maybe start with the whole big picture. I know the president
Yes.
was killed a few years ago, and I know that's had some ripple effects. Can you share the big picture since you really know exactly what's happening?
Yes, I will try my best. Well, first of all, we'll start by saying that Haiti is in the Caribbean, and Haiti is situated in a place geographically on the map where on the world where it is very vulnerable to climate change, because where we are situated, we get all the hurricanes that come from Africa. They
Mhm.
go across, and Kenscoff is right there on the path. So not only Kenscoff, all of Haiti is on that path. And so we are not only on the path of hurricanes, but we also sitting on tectonic plates every now and then that, cause earthquakes. So it's a country that's very, very vulnerable to not only climate change, but when you are a country that is not well managed, the vulnerability increases. I mean, the impacts of it increases. There aren't enough means to be resilient to
Mhm.
the impacts of the climate change. So what happened to Haiti was that not only we are in that position, but since 1987, after the dictatorship, we've had elections for democratic governments, but most of them have been corrupted. Not to
Mhm.
say all of them. We've had corruption all the line. And so, with that corruption, there is a mismanagement of the country. The
And
country
that's
has not been managed.
that's
And there was,
almost
yes,
30 year for almost 30 years you've had this, and I'm sure that a lot of instability comes from that, lack of
exactly,
stable government.
mismanagement. Exactly. And
Yeah.
because of the mismanagement, there is a lot of, well, because of the corruption, there is mismanagement. They all go together.
Mhm.
Corruption and mismanagement, they go together. So ever since then, we've been having coup d'etat after coup d'etat, and
Mhm.
the country has been degrading until now. It's really at a point where people say it's almost at no return, but I don't. I always have
Mhm.
hope. I always
Yeah,
have hope.
of
And what
course.
happened is that to protect their businesses, and also politicians, they both paid people and give them arms to protect their benefits. For
Hmm.
example, big businesses would hire people with arms and have them form little groups to protect their businesses. And
Oh yeah, it's
politicians will
all
do the
kind of,
same.
it's like a
So
little.
yes, and so what happened is that after many years they form gangs, and now we have a report that there are 200 organized gangs in Haiti.
Wow.
200 organized. So it's very, very corrupted. And those gangs, what they do, they have been kidnapping, they have been raping women, they have been stealing. It's pretty bad, and killing. But one of the things, well, they're all bad, they're all worse. But one of the worst things is the spoliation. People use gangs to spoliate others. For example, they will use gangs to steal land, to grab land away, and this from other people. And this is one of the reasons why Wynne Farm has been suffering from the insecurity, because we have had some powerful person in the government who has paid to get part of the land of Wynne Farm. So that had happened already, and I will not discuss it too much because it's not secure. But this is to tell you what is going on.
Yes. So they are, as is there a specific reason why they're targeting wind farms for this? And then I know we're excited to show your video here in a moment about the work you are doing. But since we're on this topic, can you share a little bit more about why that is, or is it really just a mass attack on anyone that they can take advantage of?
I think it's more generalized.
Mhm.
It's not specifically wind farm. It's more generalized. But wind farm happen where we are. We happen to have lots of trees and spaces that are not covered with buildings, construction. And in Haiti, most people believe that if you don't build a house in that space, it means it's not yours or you're not using it. So
Ah,
they do not believe in protecting nature in
right.
that way. For example, why would you let, you leave so many acres not built in? You should be putting houses here and there and renting.
Yeah.
And so that is not it, because the the mission of wind farm is to not only conserve, but as I said, it's to serve the community. So now, for example, today, after so many years, people know, people who appreciate it know that they have a place to go to reconnect with nature.
Yeah, yeah. It's a cultural thing when you say that most people don't understand the value of
Right.
preserving that land. It's partly a cultural thing, I'm thinking. Um, and also in an area that's so deforested, your farm and your area is so important.
Exactly. And also they use some people come, it's not to grab the land, it's because they need the wood.
Mm-hmm.
They need the wood. So we don't have any fence. Um, Haitians believe in seeing a border, not only saying that this is the your limit and this is mine, but they want to see a fence. And we never did put up a fence. We don't have the means to do it. So this is one of the main problems. So people come, it could be, oh, this is a beautiful patch of grass. Let me bring the cows. And the next day you'll find 10 or 12 cows, stamping on plants, eating the grass. So it's been a battle like that, a nature battle all those years.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
now it's
really,
more than that. It's spoliation. It's more, it's grabbing, it's land grabbing. And
yeah.
this is going on all over the country. For example, in Artibonite, where where they raise where they grow rice, most of the rice for the country. Now this land is being stolen and people are building on the rice fields.
Oh my
So
goodness. Yeah.
I mean, this is
It's partly an education issue and a cultural issue. Is
exactly.
this a good time to show the video
Sure, sure,
about Wynne Farm? That would be
sure.
great.
The Wynne Farm Ecological Reserve is a little sanctuary in the mountains of Kenscoff in Haiti. It was founded by Victor Wynne in 1956. Victor's vision was to create a space apart where he could remind people on how to take care of the environment and how to farm and live more sustainably with the earth. He started by terracing the entire 30 acres to the image of Machu Picchu to prevent soil erosion and also introduce other methods of soil conservation. He later introduced various species of plants and fruits, mainly from South America. But one of his main focuses was also to preserve the indigenous species of the land of the area. When Victor passed away, his daughter Jane and her family opened up the space more to the public and continued his work through environmental education, environmental awareness, tours. Throughout the years, hundreds and hundreds of students, of orphanages, families, agronomists have come through, as well as tourists. Thanks to the USAID, the Center for Sustainable Development was built at the reserve to share workshops with local farmers. The Wynne Farm mostly focuses on reforestation efforts, environmental awareness, organic farming, and to basically create a healing space for humanity. It's that space where you can come back to and remember that we are all so interconnected. We're not separate from our environment. We are the environment. And so to preserve the environment is to preserve yourself. To heal the environment, to heal nature, to reconnect with nature is to reconnect with yourself. And just remember, remembering that no living system operates by itself. Everything is interconnected. And we continue our work also striving to inspire the youth to know that they can make a difference. So that when they leave, they feel empowered to be the change, to be a part of a green revolution, to honor all life.
What a beautiful video. And that was your daughter, Melissa?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for showing the video. It says everything about Wynne Farm.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It really, it's so, it makes you feel a certain way,
Thank you.
as well, that I'm sure is reflective of who you really are, right? And who you represent.
Thank you. We are all working for Mother Nature.
Yes.
And right now, more than ever, she needs us. She needs all of us. And that's why I'm so happy to be part of her many voices. We are one of her many voices.
Oh, right. Absolutely. Yeah. It's really a place of, you can feel this peacefulness about when you're there. And I know Alicia agrees with that it's really very much a place of peace. And,
Yes.
and I love the point that everything's interconnected. The butterfly effect is real, right? It's
Right.
the butterfly wings here affect something all the way across the world that we cannot, that's the way it is. And I know you and I talked about when we were, preparing for today,
Yes.
the idea that the health of the planet and the biodiversity and the fresh water and the way that the planet is, it directly affects the health of the people. We are directly tied to the health of our environment. It's just another reason why your work is so important, I think.
Well, I do appreciate that. I appreciate that because we feel that too. It is so, all of it is so, interconnected, as
Yes.
you both were saying.
Yes, definitely.
And we have to keep it like that. And
Mhm.
we would love to keep the integrity of Wynne Farm, the goal, the mission of Wynne Farm. But alone, we cannot do it. We just feel we cannot do it anymore alone.
Yes. So, what specifically are you looking for? What do you need?
First of all, we're looking for partners who can understand, partners who can feel, the why we are doing that. Some people have told us, why don't you just move to another place, or let other people do this, and let other people, for example, we have a neighbor who's building hotels. No, this is not it. We need to take care of Mother Nature. We are the caretakers of Mother Earth. And so we would love to have partners who understand us, like Her Many Voices.
Yeah.
And also, we lack human resources, because we could find human resources in Haiti, but we don't have the means. So if we have partners to help us, we could find the means to find the right people to help us manage. But
Yeah.
one of the worst things is the spoliation. And our goal one day is to build a living fence supported by some metal, a fence of some type, because if we don't protect Wynne Farm, we don't see how we can stretch our arms to keep protecting the larger space.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand it's technically only 30 acres, but the protected area is actually 400 hectares.
Actually, it's more than 30 acres. The USAID was using 30 acres.
Ah.
But we did not include all the slopes all the ravines and slopes that are included in Wynne Farm. So it's about 50 acres in all,
Oh, okay.
with all of that. But as I said, people are encroaching and
Yeah.
destroying. For example, I remember when I was very young, I was talking to my dad, and we both had the idea of, why don't we do like Noah's Ark and bring all species of plants at Wynne Farm to save for the planet in case one day something happens. And then, so he started bringing in plants like the ginkgo biloba. We had ginkgo biloba at the farm. And that was way back in the 60s, way back in the 60s. And so then we had the giant sequoia. It was started to grow very well. But all of these, I'm so sorry to say, they're gone because they cut them for firewood.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yes, we've lost a lot of species that we introduced, and also a lot that we were protecting. For example, if you go to Kenscoff, you will not find the tree fern. You have to search a lot to find a tree fern. But when you go to Wynne Farm, you'll find quite a few tree ferns. And that's where there's a special bird in Haiti that makes its nest in that tree fern, the musician bird. And it also uses the indigenous pine, the Pinus occidentalis, to nest. And so we are trying to protect those. And also
Yes.
what we do, we protect whenever someone has an indigenous plant. I have some friends who have given us the special Magnolia ekmani. It only exists on the island, on Hispaniola, on both sides of the island. And but we are losing most of them in Haiti because people are destroying. People are in need. Haiti is going through a humanitarian crisis.
Yes.
And it's an account of those two things I told you, an account of the vulnerability of of its position, and also the lack of governance.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Do you want to speak a little bit about, the OAS, the Organization of American States, and how that's related specifically to access to water? Because Water is so important, of course, and water is a human right, and I know it's one of the biggest things that you're fighting for is the water for the people of Haiti.
Yeah. Well, what would you like me to tell you about it?
Well, maybe just explain kind of from an entry level about the OAS, because when we spoke earlier, you had said this is really what's happening right now. The most, this is what people.
Okay. Okay. Well, right now there is a conflict on the island between the Dominican side and the Haitian side, because there's a river called the Rivière Massac that separates the island. And this whenever you have a river that separates an island, it's international. This river is international. So that this means both countries have the right to use that river in a respectful way.
Mhm.
Uh, if as long as you are not destroying it. Well, the Dominicans did have in 11, I think it's 10 or 11 intakes of water, but the Haitians have not had one. So recently they were building a canal. The farmers decided to take a canal, um, which was accepted. It was signed by the president who got assassinated, President Jovenel and President Abinader of the Dominican Republic. They both signed a contract that it was okay for the Haitians to do that canal, and he started building it. But after he got killed, it was discontinued. So recently, the farmers decided, this is not just one or two farmers, it's quite a lot of farmers, decided to continue the canal. But they're not doing it just by themselves. They have some engineers with them. They're doing it in a correct way. And the president decided to stop it. President Abinader, on the other side, asked Haiti to stop the people from building the canal. And so Haiti is saying, yes, but we had a contract that was signed and it was accepted. Why should we sign it? It's because 8 days after he had signed the contract, he sent some representatives to say they changed their minds about it. And then that's it. They changed their minds, but nothing happened after that. So the Haitians who need water to plant food for the population, they said, no one will stop us from getting that water. Water is a gift from nature. Why should they have it and we cannot use it? It's for both of us. So they had no guns. They had, well, some of them were holding rocks. But on the other side, we saw in videos where they came with helicopters, machine guns, all types on the other side. And the Haitians were kept on dancing and singing, and they're doing their voodoo ceremonies. And they said, nothing will stop us because it's a gift from nature. And so I believe now OAS, the president of the Dominican Republic, did ask OAS to come and study the situation. So I don't know of the report yet. I don't know what outcome it was.
Yes, but this is all very, very recent. Just a few months ago, that there was both sides at the river, and the Haitians were starting to build a canal, right? And then
Just a couple of months ago.
Yes,
And
then they
today, as I'm talking to you now, they're still building the canal. They're still working on it. But what is wonderful, one wonderful thing for Haiti, for many years, the Haitians could not get together to do anything. They could not do anything together. But because those farmers started that movement, which is called a combit. A combit is, let's put ourselves together to do this.
Yeah.
Let's help each other. And so now, not only Haitians within the country, but Haitians all over the planet, diaspora, they are sending money to buy cement, to buy steel, to pay people for food,
Wow.
to,
So
to
it's
work on the canal.
this issue is bringing people together because it's so obviously unfair and so obviously needed.
Yes.
And I think you mentioned the DR has 12 canals and Haiti literally has 0 right now.
Yes,
And
they have 11 intakes, they call them, well, canals,
oh
and
yeah,
Haiti had 0, and this is the first one they were doing. This is the first one.
yeah. And they're
So
still trying to stop it. So just to give people an idea of the scale of the difference.
exactly.
Yeah.
But what am I recommending is that I think um, the DR had the means to protect its land. It means to protect its environment, and the Haitians do not.
Hmm.
As I said, it's been a country that's been very corrupted, and nothing has been done for most of the population. So many people don't go to school. There's no clean water, not enough food, no health system, no insurance, nothing. And so what they do, they use wood for fuel. They cannot afford to eat. Don't even ask about buying gas to cook the
Yeah.
food. So
This is
they make charcoal. They
the
make charcoal.
people are suffering from this lack of a consistent and lack of an uncorrupt government, right? And they're suffering so much that they're doing whatever they can to survive.
Exactly. But one thing I'd like to mention is that at the beginning of the creation of Wynne Farm, my dad had learned about bamboo, how it could hold the soil. If you put the running bamboo in the ravine, it would hold the soil. We did
Mm.
not have the running bamboo in Haiti, but we had the clumping bamboo, Bambosa vulgaris, which is not a runner. But if you put a runner in a ravine, it will hold the ravine. So this is one thing that Wynne Farm does. We've been doing projects with schools where we distribute certain varieties of bamboo to the students, and so that they can put in ravines. But
Mhm.
I've noticed that some of them have planted them on the outside of their homes and their gardens, and they don't let it invade the places where they're planting food, but they plant it to rebuild with it. For example, you can pass by and see a balcony of bamboo, chairs of bamboo. They're making furniture with bamboo.
Mhm.
So it's a
Mhm.
good thing. And what we did also with the community, um, a lot of times the parents complain they cannot pay the school. So we started a project by distributing a certain varieties of fruits. For example, a fruit that is resilient to the climate change. It
Mhm.
doesn't need much water, and if there's a hurricane, after the hurricane it will grow back up. It's a climbing plant. It's called the passion fruit, sweet passion fruit, not
Okay.
the sour one. It's a sweet one that you can eat as a dessert, like that.
Nice.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
we distributed that to them so that they could um, sell it and pay tuition with it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's great. Oh my gosh. There's so many things you're doing.
We try.
Thank, yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I
Thank
don't know.
you.
Is there, what's something, a message that you'd like to leave our listeners with, sort of the most important message that you'd like to leave. And then we really, really appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much. Well, our message is that we would love to keep the integrity of Wynne Farm Ecological Reserve, and we'd like to continue to do the work of caring for Mother Earth. We don't have the means to do it, so alone we cannot do it. We are inviting people to come and hold our hands to do it. Let's do it together, please. Thank you.
This is the website is here. And for those who are listening, it's the www.wynnefarm.org. We can go there, and really, you really are looking for partners to literally be with you there and to provide resources. I know you've done this since, I think your father started it in 1956, right? And made so much progress. I know the birds and the butterflies and the bees have all come back, since you've been working. But it's a long-term plan. You need protection from the instability and partners.
Thank you. It's a work of 3 generations.
Yes.
Generations, and it's not only us. It's Wynne Farm family has enlarged with all the students who have come. We're all becoming one part of we're all Wynne Farm family in Haiti.
Yes, that's great. And imagine the opportunity. I'm thinking of the opportunity for people to get involved and to actually make a huge, real difference. I know that's one reason why Alicia loves working with you.
Thank you.
Is because you are really making a huge difference together and with your work alone there as well. So I really do invite anyone who's listening who would like to reach out to do so.
Thank you. And I'd like to say also, if anyone would like to contact us, either through us or through Her Many Voices,
Great.
We would appreciate that. And
there's a way to do that on your website or through Alicia, through Her Many Voices, of course.
Pardon me?
Is there a way to do that on your website?
Yes, we will do that. I will ask them to do it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
wonderful.
I truly appreciate, and let's keep working together for Mother Earth.
That's great. And your email is here. I'll share it with people. I hope that's all right with you. Is that okay?
Sure. Or info at Wynne Farm is even better.
Info at
wynnefarm.org.
Great. Info at WYNNE farm.org. Thank you, Jane, so much. It has been such a privilege to talk to you and have you on our first episode of the newly named Gaia Gossip for Her Many Voices. Thank you so much.
I appreciate.
Have our stories. We will sing our song.